Well, we're at part of our evaluation again, and so we wanted to bring you in and we gave you evaluation. How do you think your week went?
I thought my week was kind of rough a little bit, honestly. I'm still trying to learn Orland and learn the ways that things are going on around here. It's a little different than the way I'm used to operating out of my traditional department that I came from. So I'm still trying to fit in and do all that stuff. I got a chance to review the notes you guys had, and I think some of them are spot on, but I would like to discuss some of them if you didn't mind.
No, absolutely. That's why we brought you in to kind of talk to you about that. Why don't we just go work our way down through the evaluation and kind of go.
All right.
A couple of things as far as the leadership things that we saw is that learning the district obviously is the leadership portion, is being able to get there on shift and be able to find your way around the district, and we thought you struggled with that, which you already identified in there.
I have a hard time with it. I'm not from around the area. It's a bigger area than I'm used to. You know, it's quite a bit more miles than I'm used to. I've come from a small town department. They didn't have all the response areas in any of the high-rise buildings or even a mall. You know, so I'm not used to that stuff yet, and I still have to learn it.
Well, and you saw in the training plan that we've identified some of those issues. We're going to, as a company, we're going to give you some addresses every day to kind of help you learn your way around, identify those main streets that are coming through the town. So over the next month, we'll help you work on those issues to be able to identify where your calls are and the main thoroughfares and ways to get to the hospital, and really work with our engineers to make you feel much more comfortable in that.
I've seen one of the things that Instructor Seifert brought up was that he wants me to, in this training plan, to get up for every call that goes off in the district, and he wants me to go to the map board and check it out. I think that's going to help me out a ton. Hopefully you guys see that I'm doing that every time, and it shows that I really do want to be here. So I do. I'm working really hard for this, guys.
Well, that's one of the other things. As you look at the attitude section, we thought that you had a good attitude during your first month and a half while you were on shift. You were always the first guy to ask questions to improve yourself on EMS calls. So while there may be some issues with the leadership category of the evaluation, we did note that you did have a very good positive attitude to try and improve yourself and make yourself better as a probationary firefighter.
Speaking on the leadership front, I think of myself as a leader, and I hope everybody else does after my probationary period's up, and I can show you guys that. Like I said, I'm still learning the system here. I'm finding it hard to step up because we have such strong personalities here, and people want to take charge, and I just don't want to upset the apple cart at this time. So hopefully I can show you guys throughout my training and doing these extra things that you guys want me to do, that I'm willing to and want to be here.
And really, when we talk about leadership, Nick, is that we really want you to be a leadership on your training. That's really not necessarily on calls and not necessarily, we want you to be the leader and take the initiative to make yourself better, continue to work on there. This is what we're talking about as far as the leadership portion of that goes.
I could do that. I could do that.
Very good.
So one of the other areas too, that we noted some deficiencies that we need to improve upon with the next evaluation period is your practical competence. Noticed on a couple of the EMS calls that we had that you had trouble critically thinking through some scenarios. And when you're given multiple tasks to try and complete something, your company officer noted that you had trouble placing a non-rebreather mask on a patient when they needed oxygen. So you're more focused on that call and trying to get a blood pressure, which was fine, but in that situation, the patient was experiencing difficulty breathing, their oxygen saturation was really low, and we really needed to get that patient on oxygen, and you were told on several occasions that that's what we needed to do, that was the route of treatment that we needed to provide, but you just couldn't think through that problem. So that's why you got not a very good evaluation in practical competence. So
I know exactly the call you're talking about. I'm still a new paramedic, guys, I'll be honest with you. I'm still learning, okay? I will strive and I'll do everything I can through additional training. I'll get in touch with Lieutenant Duke, and maybe he could send me through the sim lab a few more times. I'm still a new paramedic. I have to take on this role a little bit better. I have to be a little more forefront about this, and I have to learn my role as a PIC. If you guys see anything else that you think I could work on, just give me it, and I'll study and I'll do everything I can to be here.
well, in our training plan, that's what we've included, that when you're on shift, from now on, when there's extra time in the day, we talk to Lieutenant Duke, and we're going to get you out in the sim lab with your company, so you get a little bit more hands-on experience on some of that call management stuff, and hopefully it'll help you along the way.
I hope so. I really like going to the sim lab. I think it's great. finding it a little difficult from working throughout the academy with my group that I'm used to coming back over here and learning a whole new group. It's my first month here, guys, and I think by the end of my probation, I'm really going to be able to show you guys what I can do.
Do you feel that we have outlined the expectations to you clearly so that you
Yeah.
understand what those expectations
Yeah,
are?
just looking through this evaluation and everything, it shows where I'm deficient. It shows the stuff that I have to do to get up to the expectation that's expected out of an Orland firefighter. And throughout this training academy and throughout this program for probationary firefighters, I hope that I could prove to you guys that I deserve to be here.
Well, I think if you look at your professionalism, you know, you definitely received high marks in there. You're always the one, you know, arriving to work early. You're in proper uniform. You're the first one up out of bed in there. That really goes to show you your dedication and wanting to be here. We want to keep that attitude and that high work ethic throughout this academy. We'll find ways to make you better on some of your deficiencies, and we'll work with you to make you successful. We just need you to keep that mindset going as you work through your
I've always thought I had a strong work ethic, and I think I could prove to you guys that, or I know I could prove to you guys that I'm a strong leader. I think a lot of it came from the training academy that we went through. It shows the professional and leadership that they want to instill in the firefighters here, and hopefully I can show you guys that.
Okay, one other thing, and this is probably a bigger thing with the company you work with, is that they noted that during this evaluation period, your motivation and initiative to get tasks done was lacking a little bit.
I would like
Especially when it
talk
came to
about
some of the housework stuff. The guys at the station kind of noted that you were always the last one up to do some of that stuff. Remember, you're on probation.
Yeah.
You want to put your best foot forward. You want to be a go-getter. Guys are real good at the stations. They don't expect the guys on probation to do all the housework, but I mean, you're the new guy. You've been here, you know, a month and a half, and you've got a guy who's been here 20 years. That's the first guy to grab the mop. So that's something you have to work on. It's really nothing that we could teach you. That's got to come from within yourself.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm still feeling my way around. I don't know who does what house chore, and who. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. You got some senior guys here that like doing certain things, and I just have to take it upon myself to just do them before they even get to it. And hopefully, I find out what they want to do, and they'll tell me.
Well, that may be a good idea, or maybe ask them first thing in the morning. You know, when do you want to do the housework, or what would you like me to do
That's
for
good,
the
yeah.
housework? So maybe prompt the lieutenant and ask your station lieutenant, you know, what needs to get done, or what would you like to see get done?
I think I could do that at each one of the stations I float out to, guys, and hopefully the lieutenant tells me where to sit at the table and what my house duties are at the beginning of each shift and what he expects of me. So maybe that'll work for me.
So, Nick, you had a chance to read through the evaluation, and we've talked about some of the things that we think you're doing very well on, and we've also identified some of the things that we think you need to do a little bit of work on. As we read through that training plan, do you think that training plan is, one, will address the needs that you have, and number two, is an acceptable, that you'll be able to accomplish that?
Yeah, I think throughout the training plan that you guys set up for me, I'll be able to accomplish these goals. If not in the next few weeks, then I can show you within the next year of my probation. I think that it details everything that needs to be done, and hopefully it accomplishes what you guys expect of me, because I know I could accomplish what you guys need.
Well, I hope so, because next evaluation, we're expecting a change, so in a month's time, you'll be evaluated again. We both think that you've got the potential to be a very good firefighter here with the Orland Fire Protection District, but those areas that we noted some deficiencies, you need to get better on those. So if you're in agreement with the training plan that we've outlined, that we've come up with you, and you work towards that, I don't think we'll have any problems when we come to evaluate your evaluation period next month.
I'm good with it. Just need me to sign it, and
Yeah, we need you, if you want to make any comments, you're more than willing to make any additional comments after our discussion here, and then I just need you to sign it at that point.
I'm good. I'll just put that I'm good here, so it's initial,
Yes, that's fine.
and then I'll sign it.
Okay.
Date and week.
Great, Nick.
Thank you.
Nick, it's been a
Thank you very
pleasure.
much.
All right.
Good
we'll
work.
see you.
Thank you very much.